Hey, Water School 24 first graders, how's everyone doing today? It's Tuesday, June 2nd. We are slowly running out of days left this school year. First grade is almost over for you. Can you believe it? Before you know it, it'll be done, and we're going to be talking about second grade in September, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to go real fast. So make sure you get all your work done today, and you concentrate and listen to moms and dads, brothers, sisters, stepmoms, stepdads, whoever's working on it with you today. Don't forget, we got a noon at Zoom. No, Zoom at noon on Thursday, June 4th. I can't wait to see you all there. All right, have fun. The Daily Rundown, Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. Today we're going to start reading off by watching the read aloud of Henry and Mudge and Mrs. Hopper's house. Then we're going to answer the following question: what would you rather do on Valentine's Day? What Henry did or what his parents did? Explain why. This will be your reading portfolio assignment in Class Dojo today. We are going to skip discuss the meaning of words. We are not going to read Rose's planned trip and answer the questions. In writing, we're going to do Daily Fix-It 6 through 10, and that will be our writing portfolio assignment in Class Dojo today. We are not going to do another round of writing directions. We did that yesterday. In foundational skills, we are not going to work on the spelling menu. We are going to do some practice with the suffixes ly and ful. I think that was something new we started yesterday, and we should continue on that and build on it. That's page 494 for the remote learning packet. We won't practice writing sentences for these words, but we will do adjectives practice, page 495, not 405, that's a typo, 495 in your remote learning packet. Let's get started. Henry and Mudge and Mrs. Hopper's House by Cynthia Ryland. Sure. Illustrated by Carolyn Bracken in the style of Susie Stevenson. The genre for today's story is realistic fiction. Realistic fiction has settings that seem real, but the stories are made up. Next, you will find out what happens when Henry and Mudge visit a neighbor. Let's begin. A sweetheart dance. Valentine's Day was coming. Henry and his big dog Mudge loved Valentine's Day because of the candy. They liked the candy hearts that said, "You're swell," and "Oh dear," and things like that. Henry read the words and Mudge licked them off. They were a good team. On this Valentine's Day, Henry's father and Henry's mother were going to a sweetheart dance. Henry and Mudge would be staying with Mrs. Hopper. Mrs. Hopper lived across the street in a big stone house with droopy trees and dark windows and a gargoyle on the door. Henry liked Mrs. Hopper, but he did not like her house. "Are you sure Mudge and I can't come to the sweetheart dance?" Henry asked his father. "Only if you both promise to wear a tuxedo and shiny black shoes and waltz to the blue Danube," said Henry's father. Henry looked at Mudge and tried to imagine him in a tuxedo and shiny black shoes waltzing to the blue Danube. "I think we'd better go to Mrs. Hopper's," Henry said. "Good idea," said Henry's father, "because Mudge only knows how to tap dance," Henry said with a grin. Costumes. Mrs. Hopper wasn't like anyone Henry had ever met. She played the violin for him. She served him tea. She told him about her father, who had been a famous actor. She was very kind to Mudge. She cooked him a bowl of oatmeal and gave him his own loaf of French bread. After the tea and music and oatmeal, Mrs. Hopper took them upstairs. She opened the room that had been her father's. "Wow," said Henry. The room was full of costumes. There were silk capes and tall hats, shiny coats. There were canes and swords and umbrellas. There were wigs. Mrs. Hopper put a wig on Mudge. "You look like a poodle, Mudge," said Henry. Mudge wagged and wagged. Henry and Mudge and Mrs. Hopper spent most of the evening in the costume room. They had a wonderful time. When Henry's parents came back from the dance, were they ever surprised? Mudge was a poodle, and Henry was a man. Henry wore a tuxedo and a hat and shiny black shoes. I bet you didn't know I was this handsome, Henry told his dad, and everyone laughed and laughed. All right, hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget your comprehension question comes up next. The Daily Fix-It, here's numbers 6 through 10. Now remember, you only have to choose to do 2. You only choose 2 and make the corrections for those 2. It could be a word that's not spelled properly. It could be improper punctuation at the end. Or it could be a misplaced capital letter. Good luck. Let's do some more practice with the suffixes ending ly, ending ful. Remember, suffixes are a grouping of letters that come at the end of a word. So, our spelling words: slowly, careful, quickly, useful, painful, playful, sadly, gladly, nicely, wonderful. Write the list word that means the same as the underlined word. Number 1. She said goodbye in a sad way. Look at the root word, sad. Now look at your spelling words. Which one of those has that root word? Sadly. That's right. She said goodbye sadly. See how much easier it is to say sadly instead of in a sad way? Number 2. We had a very good time. Where can we see something that looks just like that? Let's look at our spelling words. We had a very good time. Wonderful. We had a wonderful time. Number 3. Be alert when playing ball. Alert. What's another word in here that sounds like alert? Right here. Careful. Be careful when playing ball. I'm sure you hear that often. Number 4. The twins play in the nice way. Look at that word, nice. The root word nice is right here, too. Nicely. The twins play nicely. So much easier to say than in a nice way. Number 5. Her foot was full of pain. If we take pain, and we put them all together, what do we get? Painful. Her foot was painful. Number 6. I will be happy to help. I will be happy to help. Be happy to could be I will gladly help. Glad is kind of like happy, right? Gladly. I will gladly help. Number 7. The hamsters are full of play. Take full, take play, put them all together, and what do you got? Playful. That's right. Playful. Number 8. Drive in a slow way. Look at the root word slow. Does anything match it? Slowly. That's right. That's driving in a slow way. Slowly. Number 9. My pen is still full of use. Take use, add it to full, and what do you got? Useful. Number 10. He finished his work in a fast way. He finished his work in a fast way. What's another word for fast? Oh, quick is another word for fast. He finished his work quickly. All right, let's move right on into the next page, and we're going to do some adjectives practice right here. This would be $4.95 in your remote learning packet if you're following at home. If not, it's okay, don't worry. As usual, we do this right on screen. Let's begin. Adjectives that compare. Add ER to an adjective to compare two persons, places, or things. The cat is smaller than the dog. Yes, it is. We are comparing two things. When you are comparing two things, it's smaller. Add est to an adjective to compare three or more persons, places, or things. Now look, we got a cat, we got a mouse, we got a dog. The mouse is the smallest of the three. That's the proper way to say it. If it was just a dog and a mouse, then you would say the mouse is smaller. But it's the dog, the cat, and the mouse. So the mouse is the smallest of all three. Circle the adjectives that compare two things. Underline the adjectives that compare three or more things. Number 1, Mrs. Hopper is taller than Henry. What's the adjective that compares two things? We got to circle it. Taller, er at the end compares two things. We would circle taller. Number 2, Henry's father is tallest of the three. Three, we are comparing more than two things. We are comparing three or more. So we see this word right here, tallest. Est means it's more than three, or three or more. So we're going to underline tallest. Number 3, Mudge is smarter than that dog. Well, we're only comparing two dogs here, aren't we? So Mudge is smarter, er. We're going to circle smarter because it's comparing two things. Number 4, Mudge is the smartest dog of all. Well, we're comparing every single dog in the world, so that's definitely three or more. So that means we are seeing an est word here. We're going to underline smartest. Number 5, Henry's mother is older than Henry. Well, we're only comparing two people, Henry and his mother. So we're using an er word, which means that we have to circle older. Number 6, Mrs. Hopper is the oldest of the three. We are comparing three people, three or more, which means we're looking for an est word, which means we're going to underline oldest. All right, good job, everyone.